Shalom, giving all praise and glory unto Yahweh, Ba'ashim Yahushai, Ba'ashim Kakadash, and double honors to the elder apostles, elder bishops, and brothers on Dung Great Millstone. Salutations to the whole elect. This is your brother Ari Banyamia, here to share another lesson. First scripture I want to start with is in the book of Proverbs, chapter 21 and verse 2. It says, "Every way of a man is right in his own eyes, but the Lord pondereth the hearts." All right, so the decisions of worldly men, they think that what they are doing is right, but the Most High, you look at your mind, if you are moving in light of His laws, commandments, and statutes, which is right, and it is righteous in His sight, and not, by the ways of man. All right, so the reason why I started with that article is because, of this guy that I read about, Jim Cramer, that he advised people to buy the Silicon Valley bank stock that, that collapsed, over the weekend, and from what I read, that he is known for giving, people poor advice. And when you see him on the radio, on the television, he has a proud way about him, like that he is never wrong, and he doesn't take the humble role, of really quitting while he's ahead. A wise person, if they are wrong several times, they will humble themselves. But he still has a platform, and many people, still listen to him. So I'm gonna just read the first paragraph. I'm going to share a few scriptures through the Spirit and close it out. It says, "The host of CNBC's Mad Money has been often grilled on social media for advising people to invest in assets that turn unprofitable or vice versa." Right? So a man like him, he is, leading people to financial ruin. One time, it might be a mistake, but several times over, you're just careless. And I wanted to read this one comment by a particular person. It says, "At first it was funny that Jim Cramer was always wrong. Now it's extremely sad how many people and families he's destroyed by always being wrong. The guy needs to be taken off the air for good." And meanwhile, I'll say this to the side, that you have the prophets today, starting with the elder apostles on down. They speak the truth, and their platforms always taken down. They got to use certain words to get around the algorithms and stuff. But I wanted to share this situation in the book of Numbers, chapter 16 and verse 31 to 33, how you had Abiram, Korah, and Dathan, that they came up against Moses, and they divided the people that Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahushai had brought out of the wilderness. Just as in the economic world or in the world today, you have Jim Cramer, like Dathan, Korah, and Abiram, giving people wrong advice. Jim Cramer, he's taking people to their financial ruin, whereas with Dathan, Korah, and Abiram, they led a lot of people at the demise and loss of life. So we have to be careful who you listen to, whoever is listening to this message. Right? And one of the reasons why they came up against Moses, Dathan, Korah, and Abiram, is that they believed that the Most High was not advising him. The Most High wasn't working with him. Right? And this is what the Most High did to these men. They were consumed in the desert, in the wilderness. So this is Numbers chapter 16 and verse 31, and it says, "And it came to pass, as he had made an end of speaking all these words, that the ground clave asunder that was under them, and the earth opened her mouth and swallowed them up, and their houses, and all the men that appear that are pertained unto Korah, and all their goods, they and all that appertained to them went down alive into the pit, and the earth closed upon them, and they perished from among the congregation. All right, so not only him, but the people who followed him, that disagreed with Moses, that didn't believe that the Most High, was with Moses and used him to bring the people, the Israelites, out of Egypt, right? So he led a lot of people, to their deaths, just as, Jim Cramer, he led people to great financial ruin, which also leads people, to financial debt. So I just wanted to share this because, we have to be careful who we listen to. Yahweh Hashem Shai appointed, our heads, starting with the elder apostles on down, and our camp elders, our camp leaders that watch, over our souls. And at the same time, it's not feasible to listen to every camp, but to listen to Great Millstone and the other men that teaches the likewise doctrine of Great Millstone. The only way is, by doing this, you would maintain, stability with this wisdom and knowledge, whereas there is instability in listening to carnal men like Jim Cramer, and also Israelite camps that is not teaching the 100% doctrine. So the last portion of scripture I'm going to share is in the book of Isaiah, chapter 33 and verse 6. It says, "And wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of thy times, and strength of salvation, the fear of the Lord is his treasure." Right? So going back to Proverbs 21 and 2, every man is wise in his own eyes, right? But those that fear the Lord is going to speak the truth. And those that speak the truth, and those that hear the truth and receive the truth, right, they would be stable in these times. Right? They wouldn't listen to men like Jim Cramer. They wouldn't listen and hearken, onto the philosophies of Egypt, buying gold and relying, on these things to save themselves. All right, so I read it again. "And wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of thy times, and strength of salvation, the fear of the Lord is his treasure." So I just wanted to share this because, a lot of false prophets of this world will lead, many to their demise. So Lord willing, it was edifying unto the elect. Until next time, shalom.